Let's get started with yoga. Come into child's pose, toes together, knees open. So we always start this way. We could start other ways, but this is such a nice way to get started. And some of you may know that the 40 days program is going on, and where they are in their programming is this week called restoration. So while you're here in child's pose, creating and building your breathing, consider allowing restoration to be the theme of your practice today. Each and every breath, each and every pose, take it with an intention of asking that pose to provide to you, however it needs to be, a quality of restoration. And then on your next inhale, lift your body up to downward facing dog. So come up into the pose where your body is the shape of a letter V. When you get here, you can bend and straighten your knees and start to stretch them out. Why? Because you're seeking to create restoration in your own body. Match the movement to the rhythm of your breath. Then look forward to your hands and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, hang down. You can fold your arms and sway from side to side. I'm often looking for my lower back to just start warming up when I'm in this pose. Take one more breath here. Then exhale. Come rolling up to standing. Take your time, stand up. Reach your arms overhead, stretch up. Then bring your hands into prayer position at the center of your chest and pause. Set your gaze, your drishti, on one point at the front of your space. Set the intention for your practice. Together, we're working toward restoration, and you set what suits you around the theme of restoration. 3 times we'll chant Om together. Take a deep breath in. Inhale and reach up, fold to the floor as you exhale. On your inhale, lift up halfway, then high plank to low plank. You can even put your knees on the ground and lower. Then inhale, lift your chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, move back into downward facing dog. Now take 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. 2 more, inhale, exhale. 1 more, breathe in, breathe out, look forward, jump up to your hands. When you get to your hands, lift up halfway and then fold down. Press your feet into the floor. Stand up, reach for the ceiling, fold to the floor as you exhale. Halfway lift, still press your feet. Low plank, you can step back and lower down. Then upward facing dog, lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. 2 more. Last one, inhale. Bend your knees as you exhale, look forward, jump to your hands. Then halfway lift, forward fold. Press your feet down, stand up, look up, fold to the floor, exhale. Lift up halfway, inhale. Hands on the floor and just drop to your low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. 2 more. Last time, inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, jump to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. 1 more time, press down and reach up. Fold to the floor as you exhale. Halfway lift, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Now press the knuckle of your pointer fingers down into the mat. One more breath in. Bend your knees, look forward, jump to your hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, squat your knees, reach for the ceiling, fold to the floor. Halfway lift, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and lunge. Reach your arms up and overhead, stretch for the ceiling. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left side step, lunge. Reach your arms up. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and breathe. 3 breaths. For everyone, press the knuckle of your pointer finger down. One more breath in. Look forward, bend your knees, jump to your hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, sit deep, reach, fold to the floor. Halfway lift, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, bend your knee a lot and reach. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side step. Anchor your back foot and reach. Hands down, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. 2 more. 1 more inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, jump. Halfway lift, fold. Chair, sit, reach, fold to the floor. Halfway lift, low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, right side, step and lunge. Reach up and back, low push up. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, left side step. Really press the back edge of your back foot down, hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, you got it, Lena. Downward facing dog, breathe. We all need a little something different in this awakening, warming up section of the practice. Sometimes to be pushed, sometimes to slow down, sometimes it's just right. 1 more breath in. Bend your knees, look forward. Now jump up to your hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, sit deep and reach. Fold to the floor. Halfway lift, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, lunge, lift, stretch your body. Hands down, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side, step and lunge. Lift the pit of your belly, hands down, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in and let there be a sigh out. Then raise your right leg into the air behind you. So right leg up, bend your knee and flip the pose over, 2 feet on the floor. So your left hand stays on the ground. You flip your right foot over and breathe. That's it. So reach it first maybe to the ceiling so that you pull yourself up out of your bottom shoulder. Then when you're feeling light in your bottom shoulder, reach overhead. 1 more breath. Side plank. Put your right hand on the mat. Face the left side of your space, the street if you're in the studio, and stack your body up. Now activate both feet. So Erica, bring your baby toes towards your face so your feet are really active. That's it. 1 more breath, reach up, then float, hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left side, lift your left leg into the air. Bend your knee and flip all the way over. 2 feet on the floor. That's it. All the way. Breathe. Patty, press your right hand down and lift up. Yes. All the way up and overhead. One more breath here. Side plank, left hand on the mat, face the cubbies or the right side of the room and stack your body up. Here's another place where you can press your bottom arm down and then reach up with your top arm. Move your shoulders to the back of your body. There you go. Feel that difference? One more breath. High plank to low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward for crescent lunge. You do have the option to put your back knee on the ground. Otherwise, arms overhead for everyone, looking to the ceiling. So stretch up for the ceiling. Reach up and go back. Hands to prayer position at your chest. Twist toward the cubby. So left elbow to your right knee. There you go, Judy. Good. Once you get your elbows anchored, lighten up your hips. So Leo, activate your back leg and make the pose lighter. Even a little higher in your hips, just a tiny bit. Then you can open your arms, wrap your top arm around behind your back. So you really roll your top shoulder open. One more breath in and out. Crescent lunge, reach up, turn to the left for warrior two. Keep in the rhythm of your breathing. Start to set your pose up from your feet through your knees to your fingertips. Tilt for extended side angle. So reach for the floor, reach for the ceiling, and stretch your arms apart. Once you feel the stretch, wrap your top arm behind your back. Let your shoulder roll open. Maybe reach under your front leg and hold hands. Once you're holding hands, press your hands into your hips and roll your shoulder open. This will come from a letting go, not a making stronger. Last breath, chest up and turn it, hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Left foot forward for crescent lunge. So step your left foot forward. Again, back knee down as a choice, arms overhead. You can lift up for the ceiling and look up. Now to hold your balance, there's actually a quality of squaring your hips that makes it easier to hold your balance. And fire up your back leg. Reach for the ceiling, then the back wall. Hands to prayer position. Twist toward the street or right elbow to your left knee. Anchor your elbow. Turn this way. So could you imagine in your body while you're taking on this twisting pose that there's a string at the top of your head and at the back of your heel, making your whole body really long? That's it. Keep breathing and wrap around it. You got it. You got it. Stay with it. Squeeze right here. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Reach back up to crescent lunge. Turn to the right. Warrior two. And breathe. Start to organize your feet. That's it. We press your heel back. Take a long stride. Bring that foot way up here. There you go. Now tilt, extended side angle. So you'll reach for the floor and reach for the ceiling. Big, deep lunge. There you go, Pete. Take your top arm around behind your back. While you're doing that, the goal is not for your shoulder to wrap forward, but for it to roll open. Then reach under your leg and hold hands, or just keep your bottom arm reaching down. 2 more breaths. Long body and turn. Long body and turn. Hands to the floor, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Back here, take a breath in and a sigh. Look forward, move up to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. We'll take a chair twist to the right. So squat back, Bring your hands to prayer and twist to the right. So left elbow on your right knee or between your knees. You got it. Really sit down once you've anchored your elbow. There you go, Erica. You can open your arms. Whenever I open my arms, I always feel it's beneficial to just get the stretch. Thumb through chest to thumb. Then see what's available in the wrapping or taking it into the next stage. 2 more breaths here. Pete, squat your right knee down. Yes, last breath. Chair pose. Forward fold. Open your feet hip width distance or wherever it feels sturdy to you. Then hook your fingers around your big toes. Inhale, lift halfway. And maybe sigh, exhale as you hang down. You can shake your head out. Let your head hang heavy. Folded like this. This is a pose that's a little bit more easy and obvious to allow restoration to happen. Even in a really working pose, there's still a quality of restoration, but it comes from allowing. Never comes from new efforting. Release your toes, chair twist to the left now. So squat back, and you'll notice when you squat here, your knees are aligned, one in front of the other. Keep that. Hands to prayer, twist toward the street in the studio. So right elbow to the left knee. And then you notice how maybe the pose has gotten a little out of order. So Shannon, bend your left knee more. Yeah, it got kind of crept back there a little. When you're ready, you can open your arms, bottom arm to the floor, top arm to the ceiling. Wherever you are, broad across your collarbones. You got it. Press down and rise up in your head and in your toes. 1 more breath. Chair pose, forward fold, gorilla pose. Open your feet hip width distance. Slide your palms under the soles of your feet. That's it. Stand on your hands. Take a breath. Sigh. Try this differently. Take a breath. Stick out your tongue and sigh with some sound. And one more way. Take a breath through your lips. They all have a different quality. Okay, release your hands from beneath your feet for crow pose, seated or balanced. If it's seated, you're on your hips, making a diamond shape with your legs, with your arms between your legs, or you're tilted, tipping forward and picking your feet up. So seated works too. You could take it on your hips. Lena, you can try it this way if you'd like. Remember, that's a choice. Yeah, inside. Take these and bring them in. Yeah, 2 more breaths. Last breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So you have 3 choices for restoration. Take a breath in, pick your favorite. That's always my favorite. Then you're making a lot of funny noises here in the studio. Did you make funny noise at home? Everybody do it one more time. Take a breath in. Let's listen from home and from home into the studio. Look forward and jump up to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Come all the way up to standing and sweep your arms overhead. Right side eagle pose. So your right arm goes under. Squat down as low as you can. Right leg goes over. Maybe your toes tuck. Yeah. Yes. Breathe right here. To keep your balance, keep your gaze on one spot. To go deeper in the pose, restoration, a quality of ease and inner strength. Step out and switch sides. Now the other arm, left arm under, left leg over. Tuck your toes. Yep. Sit down low. You may like lifting your bound hands a little higher and pressing them away from your face. You'll feel some new stretch in your upper back. Let's do a second set. Step out, right arm under, squat, right leg over, sit low. Yeah, that's it. Yes, breathe here. Feeling like you're ready for something next level for yourself, pick your toes up and spread them out. And then switch sides. Left arm under, left leg over. Other side. While you're holding the pose, draw the pit of your belly into your body and up towards your chin. You'll notice that when that is engaged, other parts of your body can relax. Keep breathing here. One more breath. Step out, arms overhead, hug your right knee into your chest. Hold your big toe and extend your leg for a standing leg raise. Keep your breath flowing. Anytime you notice yourself not breathing, there's not breath for you to listen to in the room. At any point, you could begin the breathing again. Some days the breath comes out of you really powerful and strong. Some days it's a little softer. Okay, open your leg to the right, look and reach to the left. Now, if you find yourself wiggling, press out from your center line through both of your feet, your head, and both of your hands. Then come forward, hug your knee into your chest and stand tall. Airplane pose. Start already by stretching, then tilt into the pose. Stretch those legs back. Tilt a little lower and lift your back leg a little higher. Yeah, you could almost imagine, if you could, my hand just pressing down on the calf muscles of the leg that's in the air and you just pressing back up against it. Keep that stretch and press. Hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Half moon. Left fingertips to the floor, right fingertips to the ceiling. And really lift your leg high. So you'll want to bring enough attention into your toes, wiggle them, stretch them out, press right into here. Lift your chest, lift your right leg. It actually can go up all the way to here. Chest open. Yeah, from thumb through chest to thumb, you just stretch. Forward fold and hang down. Sway from side to side. Nice, Lena. That's awesome. Come up to standing. Let's do the other side. Hug your left knee into your chest. Hook your big toe of your left foot and extend your leg. And then just take inventory. Feel what you feel in your body. This is definitely a pose to call on the quality of restoration and ease. So while you're kicking forward, I'm sure you're finding your limits of flexibility. Take a breath and let your leg be easy. Then open it to the left, look and reach to the right. Eyes on one spot. Find yourself wiggling. Press out to the edges. Come forward, hug your knee into your chest. Airplane pose. Reach back. Here you can locate your abdominals, your belly, the Uddiyana Bandha, by pressing your standing foot down into the mat. And then you'll start to notice an equal lift up in the pit of your belly from the press down. Press down with your standing foot and find an equal lift of your lifting leg. Adrian, press up. Yep, keep pressing, keep pressing. 1 foot down, 1 foot up. Don't go, you've got it. Yeah, chest up. Yes, bring energy to all the parts. Hands to prayer position, good work. Half moon, right hand to the block or floor, left arm in the air. Top leg lifted as high as it will go. Breathe, press into my hand, Amy. Yep, keep pressing. You'll feel it in the side of your hips. Keep breathing, keep breathing. 1 more breath. 2 feet down and hang, good work. Hang to the floor, sway from side to side. Come on up to standing, take your time and roll up. Then sweep your arms overhead. Standing bow pose, right arm behind you. So your right shoulder rolls back and the palm faces out. Bend your knee, hold your ankle from the inside. Left arm in the air. Hold on to your ankle. You're a little more flexible than this, I know. Let me take this. I'll hold your hand. Ooh, right here. You got it. Then reach and kick. Press. That's it. Press. Press. Yes. While you're in the pose, sigh. Now kick up and kick back. A little higher, a little deeper. 3 more breaths. You got it. Stay with it. 2 more. Last one. And switch sides. Good work. Left arm behind you. Reach back. Hold your ankle from the inside. Vivian, switch your grip. You're kind of rolled forward, roll back. It's such a tricky one. You get it and then you unget it, and that's so common. Feel your shoulder dip. I know. You got it. You got it. Kick and reach. Reach. Kick back and reach. Stretch. Kick and reach. You got it. You can press gently here. Equal and opposite. So like your body is a bow and your arm through your foot is an arrow shooting through. Now sigh and kick up. You got it, Adrienne. Kick. That's it. It really takes your breath, doesn't it? Do another big breath. Good. Come out. Feet on the floor. Hands on your hips. Ooh, catch your breath. Let your body equalize, normalize. Tree pose. Stand on your left foot. Bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Hands to prayer position behind your back. Now take a moment to stand tall. When I put my hands in prayer position behind my back, I find my back arches a lot. So I've got to really organize to pull the pit of my belly in. Press your standing foot down. Lift your gaze. Lift your chest to the ceiling. Lift up and look back. Keep on breathing. Just find one row of lights and look back to the next row of lights. One more breath. Switch sides. Sometimes it goes like that. Right foot down, left foot up. Second side. Once you settle your foot, take your hands to prayer position behind your back. Get such a nice stretch down the inner side of the outer side of your forearm. Pit of your belly in. Then as your standing foot presses down into the ground, the rest of you can lift up. Take your chest up and your gaze up. Keep the strong pit of the belly. Lift your chest, Olivia. Yep, instead of settling. Look up and stretch back. Find the next row of something on the ceiling. Try to look back. Okay, step out. Come to the front of your mat and sweep your arms overhead. Fold to the floor as you exhale. Halfway lift. Low push-up. Try to drop right down into it. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Put your right foot inside of your right hand. Turn your back foot flat. Now press your front foot down and stretch your chest toward your toes. When you feel like both sides of your body are stretching and your foot is pressing, then turn and open to the side. Length between your 2 feet is part of this pose. Pull the pit of your belly into your body. Let it be the foundation of the pose. Once you have your abs, your core, your middle, the pit of your belly, you can then walk your front hand back toward the cubbies behind you off the long right side of your mat. Take an inhale. Use one of the exhales and drop your head back. This pose surprisingly only comes from ease. Keep breathing. Bring this hand right here. Take one more breath in. Sigh and drop your head back. If you couldn't fall, one more breath, how far back would you allow yourself to go? You have a lot more space, believe it or not, but one step at a time. Me too in that spot. So it comes from ease here because this is doing its work now. It's up in here. Come up to standing. Sorry, those were bonus breaths. Face the long left side of your mat and forward fold. Let's take the ninja lunges today. So you can turn your toes out today. And walk your hands to your left foot, pivot on your right heel and pick your toes up to the ceiling and breathe. And you'll feel again all the inner line of your inner thigh stretching. Keep your hips low, switch to the other side. Toes on your left foot can turn up to the ceiling. And then go back and forth from side to side, keeping your hips low as you transition. You can feel why they're stretched down there. Back and forth. Come to the center and come up to standing. Face the front for the standing. Single leg forward fold. Hands to prayer position behind your back. Try not to line your feet up one behind the other. That's just a degree of, that's not going to help you. Open your feet a little wider and fold forward. We're working for a lot of stretch in the front leg. The back leg could be further back than you think and the foot angled out. You could go longer too, Chuck. Yeah, work with that. Now, shift some weight into your front leg. There, new stretch in your hamstring. Can you feel something? Not really? Can you feel your hamstring more? Okay, good. Breathe and bring ease. Shift your weight this way. Feel it again. Twisting triangle. Left fingertips to the block or floor under your left shoulder. Reach your right arm to the side and then open. Or like Colin's showing you, you can take a reverse half moon. Breathe. Pull your right hip back. Your chest forward. You might soften your front knee a little. Breathe. Put some weight in your back leg and pull this hip back while your chest goes forward. That's it. In your back left ribs, just stretch and turn. One more time, stretch and turn. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog. In the downward dog, a breath and a sigh. Left foot forward, triangle pose, right inside of your left hand. Build the beginning, the foundation of the pose. I can't emphasize that enough in this particular pose. Get the whole front foot back to the front hip. Get a nice length and get length in your side body, and then turn your pose open. If it's really close together, it's going to be hard to get the stretch here and the stretch that might be available to you over your open hip. Reach up. Go longer. Yes. That's it. As you get more comfortable with the pose, 2 straight legs, straighten this a little straighter. If you can straighten that more, you can even make your block taller. There you go. Good job. Left hand off of your mat behind you, perhaps. Once your belly's strong, take another breath and an exhale and relax your head back. Come on up to standing. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Interlace your hands at your low back, chest up, and fold. You can let your hands spill overhead. Breathe. Each exhale is a chance to just let your hands fall. Takes me a few breaths to get out of being only aware of my legs or my shoulders and start to become aware of the space in between each one of my ribs. That's a space that it took me a lot of years of practicing to really notice. And then when I did, what I really noticed was how little space there was. And this is certainly an area where there's just nothing that you can do to work it open. You have to allow it to unfold, to open. So with that in mind, breathe the last 2 breaths and allow there to be space between each one of your ribs. Come on up to standing, face the front of the room. Standing, single leg forward fold with your hands in prayer position behind your back. The left leg is the forward leg. You can fold all the way down. When you set yourself up and move with intention, use poses your body is familiar with, and then keep applying principles. Straighten your back leg, Colin. You can try to straighten both. Yep. So it's a little short right now, but if you take it longer and just keep working your square hips and fold, you should feel it back here. At any rate, put yourself in a space, put the principles to work, and then just breathe and be in the total space of wonder about what's available to you today. Press the knuckle of your big toe down. Twisting triangle. Right hand to the block or floor. Turn toward the street or the left side of the room and breathe. Keep dragging and drawing your left hip back. Breathe here. Let this open right here. Length. Inhale. Exhale. It's more in here now. Keep your hand where it is, but iron it out like that. 2 more. 1 more big breath. And a sigh. Unfold. Hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Come to a high plank. Lower down to your belly on the mat for locust pose. You can press your 10 toenails into the floor, even the baby toe. So it has to be the baby toe too. Gather the pit of your belly up and lift up. All 10 of your toes, every single toenail. Stay right here in the pose and take a breath with a sigh. Then even lift your feet up in the air. They don't have to be high. Breathe 5 breaths. 4 more. Whole body long. There are only 2 breaths remaining. What would make it easeful? Last one. Come on down. You can bend your knees and wave your feet from side to side. Floor bow pose. Bend your knees, reach back, hold your ankles from the outside, and roll your shoulders back. Try to keep your knees hip width distance. Now drive your feet back, your shins back, and then up to the ceiling. Breathe. Need longer arms today. Hold that one. Bend your knees. Hold this. Now hold that tight. Kick back. Yeah, just let it open your chest. It doesn't have to be high. Up and back, and come on down. You can move your feet from side to side. We'll do a second set. Other side, if you're doing one side at a time, maybe, yeah, roll your hands down. One more hand roll, Fabian, that's it. Kick back and kick up. Sometimes we think that the pose has to look a certain way, and we get very consumed by making it look a certain way. Know that what we're looking for here is to open the chest and keep length on the side of your body. The pose could look a million different ways. If you find right now what it feels like in your body is it's all about strength, take a sigh, find the easy space. Come on down. Then upward facing dog to downward facing dog. We'll take 1 camel pose. Kneel down, knees hip width distance, toes turned under, hands to your hips. So press down with your knees, shins, and toes, and lift up with your chest, the pit of your belly, the front of your hips. Lift up as high as you can. And then with the high lifting up, if there's some space to lift up, and keep lifting until you go back, add the back. But not if it means you have to sink to get back. Lift. If you're able to reach for your feet, go ahead. That works fine too. Wherever you are, there should be enough freedom to breathe. Before we leave the pose, engage the pit of your belly and lift a little higher. Chest up. Come on up out of the pose. Downward facing dog. From the downward dog, once you stretch, jump through your hands, sit down, and roll onto your back for bridge pose. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, feet flat, ankles on the floor under your knees. Press your feet down and lift your hips up. Once you get your body lifted up, tuck your shoulders underneath of your body. Interlace your hands and press your arms straight. Now, a different choice is to bend your elbows with your fingers really purposefully pointing to the ceiling. So you can press your upper arm down, elbows to shoulders, and the rest of your hand reaches up. So pick the way that lets you discover more length and space across your chest. Once you get your body into the best pose for you, take 3 more breaths and just concentrate on expanding your chest and upper back, whatever that means to you. Can you equally expand them front and back? Okay, tuck your chin and come on and down out of the pose to your flat back. Knees side to side. Second one, so come up into the bridge. Press your feet down, lift your hips up, set your shoulders. Stay in the bridge or progress to the wheel. Fingertips to the ceiling, flex your wrists, hands on the floor under your shoulders. Take a breath, press down, and rise up. There you go. Get a sense of your body today. Even here, take a breath, and as you sigh, relax your shoulders. Tuck your chin and come on down. Knees side to side. Next one, bridge first. Set your hands up. Move up into the wheel. Press down, rise up. That's it. Go Jane and Erica, Judy and Shannon and Leo, breathe. Know that we're breathing with you and we're hearing you breathe, even if it's just in our imagination. Connected together from home into the room. One more breath. Come on down. Knees side to side. This is one of those great spots to just feel what you feel in your body. Set the next one up. Hands and feet on the floor. Press down and rise up. Set your hands really wide and up you go. There you go. Press your thumb down and the ball of your big toe down. 2 more breaths. Tuck your chin and come down. Knees side to side. We'll take one more. Bridge or wheel. Set up. Press your feet. Lift up into the wheel. Now, one of the things I like doing a lot is to tippy toe in the wheel. Walk my hands a little closer to my feet and breathe. And then after I feel kind of easy, if I get to that, then press the heels back down. A little more stretch in the quads, front of the pelvis. Come on down. Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of your feet together, knees open. There you go. Here's a good place for a sigh too. Sometimes restoration is the quality of allowing it to just happen for you. I don't know about you, but I know meditation works for me and I know yoga works for me. And there are times when I'm super busy and stressed and I just won't do them because I don't want to not be super busy and stressed. And that's the thing I mean more than anything, to ease the super busy and stressed and make myself more productive. So right here, take a breath in and exhale. Let yourself be easy. You're exactly where you're meant to be right now. Dead bug pose. Hug your knees into your chest. Hold the outer edges of your feet. Pull your knees back to your shoulders and rock from side to side and nurture your lower back. Okay, legs straight up in the air. Here's how we're going to do this one today. Take your arms out wide like an X and lower your right leg down. Then take a breath in. When you exhale, reach your right hand up and touch your left baby toe. Switch your legs and open back up and left baby toe and switch and over and keep going like that. Just like that, back and forth. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. If you have a block, grab it, and you don't need to have a block. This will work either way. But if you do have a block, grab it, hold it in your hands, legs straight up in the air. Then you can open your whole body up, come back, put the block between your feet, hug the block, open up, come back, take the block in your hands, open up, come back, put the block between your feet, open up, come back. You got it. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's it. Pass the block between your hands and feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch your whole body out long on the mat. Then hug your knees into your chest. Rock head to tail like 5 or 6 times. Just back and forth. Roll out your back 5 or 6 times. All the way back and forth, and then through to downward facing dog. All the way through to downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, touch your thumbs and pointer fingers together and make a diamond shape with your thumbs and fingers. That's it. Yeah, good. Step your right foot to the floor on the outside of your right hand and lunge. Hug your knee to your arm and breathe. Keep your back leg really strong and breathe. There you go. Breathe right there. Steady breath. One more. You can bring your back knee to the ground. You can bring both forearms to the ground if they'll make it. If they won't make it, put both of your forearms on a block or stay on your hands. Whatever it is, you want both limbs, arms doing the same thing. Why not one doing one thing and one doing the other? It tilts your pelvis in a funny way. So still try to hug your right arm with your right knee. You got it. So you're just right here right now. Arms on the floor or hands on the floor. Deep forward lunging. Then look at your right foot. Put the weight into your heel. Move your right toes out to the side at an angle. Peel your arch off the floor and let your right knee drop out. Now you might be able to bring your forearms to the ground and breathe right here. This is like such a good and bad feeling all at the same time. Ideally, you're forward lunging, like leaning forward. A lot of you got it. How's that one feel, Fabian? Kind of good and bad at the same time. We'll take one more step here. You have some choices. I'm going to give you two choices in this last step. So you can see Leo taking one choice on the screen, and that is to reach your right arm around and catch your back foot, or use that right hand not on your knee, but on your thigh bone, roll it out and press it away and turn your chest to the ceiling. Pick whatever gives you the most sensation in your right hip, but also lets you stay stable. Breathe. Let me help you, Lena. Bring this foot up here a little further. Yep. And then put your arms on here. And give me this. This is Lena's third class. Like, oh my gosh, what are you doing to me? That's perfect. Okay, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. So make the triangle hands. Back to the downward facing dog, triangle hands. Then step your left foot outside of your left hand and lunge. So it's going to be a big step forward. Yeah, so bring your hands together in the middle. Yeah, touching. Yes, step. All the way up here. Yes, scoop it. That's it. You can bring your back knee to the mat. Try to really hug at first. Yes. Bring your back knee to the mat and see if your forearms will come down to the mat. That's it. Keep hugging your knee to the side of your left arm. Okay, look at your left foot. Turn your left toes away from the center of your mat. And then peel your arch off of the mat and let your knee drop out. Be right in that pose for a second. Or you can twist and add the next stage to it. That's fine too. Remember when we were flipping the dog in some of those early poses and we got this quality of reaching and stretching and coming out of the bottom shoulder instead of hanging heavy in it? Even here, make your belly strong and pull your body up out of your bottom shoulder. Breathe. So as your hand presses down, lift yourself up out of the shoulder. Yes, like that, Megan. Okay, unwind, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Stretch back, and you can come down onto your knees, swing your legs around for seated leg extension. So long right leg, bend your left leg. Let's do it this way. Turn and face your long right leg and reach for your baby toe and stretch your chest toward your toes. Breathe right there. Yeah, the more usual way that we do it. We won't go for a variation today. If you can, it's your left hand to hold your right baby toe. You'll notice that your right side ankle wants to move your toes away from you, but the baby toe should come back. This outside ankle area on this outer side, it needs to flex here. Can you see that on this outside? Like it wants to point like this. We want it to flex. I don't know how much detail you guys can see at home. I'm going to look at your feet. Yeah, Judy, baby toes and that outside ankle, let it just fold. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Good, Leo, Shannon. Pretty good, Erica. Okay, switch sides. Be in your deep inner sense of feeling what you feel and be aware of the part of your body that feels limited. Feels like there's not enough space. And put your attention on that area, because where you put your attention, it's where energy will flow. And then as you breathe, you'll be able to affect change there. Okay, come on up, 2 legs in front of you, seated forward fold. So both legs forward, reach for the baby toe sides of your feet and stretch forward. Or I've been liking this lately. You can interlace your hands at your lower back and lift your chest up tall and then hinge. It's something else to try to keep the stretch going. It just takes away all the little spots where you might compensate, and just keep working the crown of my head up through my long neck, down my long spine. The pressing of my hands back helps me to anchor my sitting bones. And then I'm just limited at how much I can hinge. Do you notice that this pose is the same pose that we did in the beginning of class? Any forward fold, same thing. Now I can't bend my knees because I'm sitting on the floor, but when I did it earlier, I did the knee bend. So it's the same thing here. Okay, come on up. Lean back on your hands, bend your knees, lift up, and let your shoulders stretch. Once you get up there, press your hands and feet down, lift up, and then breathe. Note and look for whether you can expand your chest and upper back. I know parts of you are working. Put your attention on your chest and upper back. Expand them as you breathe. One more breath. Sit down. Fish pose. So the block between your shoulder blades, if you're using the block, or just your forearms on the ground and your hands under your hips. Then for all of us, we want stretch, length in our side waist until the chest has to open because we have so much length. When you get to your fish pose, we'll take 3 breaths. And for every single one of the 3, keep your belly strong, but focus on expanding your chest and upper back even here. One more breath. And then tuck your chin, roll onto your flat back. Next, it's bridge pose or wheel. So on your flat back, legs straight up in the air, or roll your feet overhead to plow pose. So flat back, legs straight up in the air in waterfall pose, or feet overhead into plow. All the way overhead till your toes touch the floor is plow pose. Pick the pose that suits you now. Yes, you can take handstands and forearm stands if you prefer. So Colin, try one leg straight, and this is the driver, and the other knee straight into your chest. Oops, that wasn't even my best example. But this leg will pull you into it, and this other leg will keep you anchored, and you'll get more stability there. Nice, Olivia. The first one's the straight one, if you can. Okay, if you're in the shoulder stand, bring your feet to the floor for plow pose, and even knees by your ears for deaf man's pose. This one I know can feel crunchy and crowded. And while you take 3 breaths here, could you look for a way to make it feel supported and spacious? You have 2 more breaths. Last one. Now come rolling out onto your flat back, one bone at a time, and then hug your knees into your chest. Next is Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees open wide. Gonna turn the lights down here in the studio. Take a breath. Then stretch your legs out long and wide for Shavasana. This is a deep rest pose. Whatever's left in your body or in your thinking or in your emotional experience, just relax with what is. Just let it be. You've had exactly the right practice for you for today. Allow yourself rest and stillness in the space of presence and aliveness. Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Hug your knees into your chest and roll to your side. Then bring yourself up into a sitting position and sit up tall. You can reach your arms overhead and then bring your hands into prayer position at the center of your chest and just pause right here. So we're working with the theme of restoration. Just take a sense of yourself right now and what it feels like to have some new level of restoration, and set an intention for the rest of your day around what it would be for you to stay and share with others the restored version of yourself. One more time, we'll chant Om together. Take a deep breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Inhale and exhale through your mouth. Namaste.